Hey everyone, my name is Chris, and on this channel we talk Kanye West. Today we're going to be going over Kanye news for June 16th, 2020, this day and some of the days prior. But we have, starting off, George Floyd's daughter, Gianna, thanks Kanye West for college fund donation. In the aftermath of George Floyd's murder and all the protests of police brutality, there were a lot of people looking towards celebrities for a voice and to speak up on this, because even though there's a whole group of people that think we don't need celebrities for that, there's still something powerful about having people in power speak up. Whether they do anything to follow up on it, it at least adds fire to the cause and justifies the cause a bit more, getting more people on the same page to take it seriously. Because you have people that are already seriously committed and people that are going to be on the fence and people that really do listen to the opinions of the famous. That's just American culture at this point. But people were wanting Kanye to say something as they were looking, especially into hip hop and hip hop artists, to speak up, say something, do something. And there was a lot of flack that Kanye was receiving as the days continued to build and nobody had heard from him. And then he came out and he made a sizable donation to Gianna Floyd, George Floyd's daughter, that was going to pay for her college education, as well as donating millions to other charitable causes, as Enemy says here. They want to help pay for the legal fees of Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor, who both were also killed by police, and then a bunch of black-owned businesses and other charitable foundations. So Kanye really spoke with some money, and then even went out onto the streets and walked in a protest for a little bit until things started to get a little too distracting, because it's Kanye West walking and taking some of the shine away from the protesters and the cause that they're walking for. So he ended up bouncing out of there. But what's interesting to me about this is that it's really nice for the Floyds to thank Kanye for this, as Kanye being as controversial as he is. You never know how people are going to respond to his involvement, and just seeing, or you never even know when people donate money, if the money's going to come through, what's going to happen. Like, you hear things about they're going to donate $10 million, and then you look at the details and it's like, well, it's going to be $100,000 a year for 20 years. And maybe that happens, maybe it doesn't. So I think it just goes to show that Kanye is actively still putting his money where his mouth is, right? And still taking action to where they're actually publicly thanking him. Though I think it's funny that they say that Gianna wrote "Thank you, Kanye," because even though it's her account, she's 6 years old. I don't know if she's writing "Thank you, Kanye, for securing my college education," but it's sweet to think about. So we have that story, and then we have so Yeezy might be launching beauty products soon, which I don't think anybody saw coming. Another wrinkle in 2020. But this actually goes back. People have talked in interviews and that have worked with Kanye about how broadly he is looking to apply his team and his vision, that it's not just music, it's not just fashion, but that Kanye has been trying to innovate and work with like any industry, any product, that this is really like, he has an interest in all of this stuff. And it makes sense that going from fashion, somebody would have an interest in beauty, care, healthcare, skincare. So they're saying that this trademark was filed on June 2nd, and it covers several products, including makeup, hair care, face masks, moisturizers, nail polish, perfume, and even body products like oils, scrubs, shaving creams, and deodorant. And the collection might also include toothpaste and aromatherapy pillows. Actually, this isn't the first time I've heard Kanye talk about toothpaste, or somebody mentioned that there was a Yeezy toothpaste, or ideas around Yeezy toothpaste, which just cracks me up. So that's a thing that could be happening. We don't know if this will actually result in something, but it's curious to see that Kanye is at least getting the trademark filed. I know I will use some Yeezy toothpaste if it comes out. See if I like it, but I will definitely be buying Yeezy toothpaste. And then this actually dates back to, there was a Harper Bazaar interview with Kim way back in November of 2017. I can't believe 2017 was 3 years ago already. But they said there were rumors swirling at one point that Kanye was going to launch a perfume or beauty line. Any truth to that? And Kim said, I have no idea where that came from. That's not true. He always talked about doing stuff like that, right? But I don't think that anything is in the works, and they already have the related story. A Kanye West makeup line is in the works. I wonder if that's, like, they went back to this story and did that exact quote for that reason. Pretty funny. So we have that. And then there was an article in Business Insider saying Kanye West drives this $500,000 high-performance tank around his Wyoming ranch. Take a closer look at the Ripsaw EV2. And I think there was a picture of Scott Disick as a bunch of the Kardashians are at the Wyoming ranch right now, which we actually have a story about that. But he took a picture with this thing. And I remember looking at it being like, what is that? That's not the Sherp that he was driving before. So this article from Business Insider just kind of dives into what this Ripsaw is. And it kind of goes BuzzFeed a little bit with the pictures and the text over it. The thing goes up to 80 miles an hour, which is pretty wild. And you can see that Kanye has the matte black style of it. But the part that I really liked from this article, one, just this interior. Like, look how awesome that is. Very futuristic, very cool. Just a lot of lights and colors. It makes you feel like you're driving a fighter jet or something. But then right here, in a recent interview with Complex, Stephen Smith, the lead designer of West's Yeezy brand, said, I like the Ripsaw tank. I think that's my favorite because it'll go 80 miles an hour, and it's borderline frightening because you can die at it, which I like, which just, man, that link between creativity and a fascination with death. It's something that comes up a lot, but just funny that, like, he's getting that thrill from driving 80 miles an hour in this thing, which the fact that that can go 80 miles an hour is just crazy. It made me think about, like, how much money does Kanye have to spend on just getting gas out to the Wyoming ranch, and who's in charge of bringing that, delivering that, like checking the fuel levels on anything. Imagine that's your job with Kanye. You're just his automobile person. Like, all right, we need bundles of gas because we've been taking the Ripsaw out way too much and got to fill it up. Like, what a logistics job that would be. But Business Insider has also done several articles on the other vehicles that Kanye has on his ranch, which is just an interesting series to keep up on. So he drives a fleet of blacked out Ford Raptors, and they just do a similar article looking at the Ford Raptors, which kind of like, they're cool. Though I always have a soft spot for the Ford Ranger, as I used to drive a little like 1992 or 1993 Ford Ranger around Ohio. That truck was great. It was my dad's for a long time, then mine for a while. I even drove that thing. The power steering ran out, and I had to just make turns with no power steering, which, if you've ever done that, it sucks. And then this is the last one. Kanye West drives a fleet of all black ATVs at his 14 million Wyoming ranch. Yeah. So this is the Sherp, which we've seen a lot of. It was in the Follow God music video. And just things gotten some acclaim. I think I even did a video on it when this article first came out, which was, oh no, this is a newer article. Nice. But we've talked about the Sherps on the channel before, but this is one of the few times we've gotten to see these kinds of photos of it. But most of these were developed as military, or the Sherp and the other one, the Saw, were developed as military grade vehicles, and Kanye just has them on his ranch. And he has 10 of these, which is just wild. So we have that. And then Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's 7-year-old daughter is worth $10 million. I don't even know why you need to write an article speculating on the wealth of a 7-year-old. Like, I get that people probably click on it, but it just seems like one of the things that if you have any journalistic standards, you wouldn't really care to dive into the finances of a child. Yeah, I don't know if that speaks more to like American culture or just the lack of ethics and morality that most websites have these days. Strange. Don't like it. And then we have the Kardashians headed to Wyoming for North West's 7th birthday. Yeah, North just turned 7 years old, and you can see, man, she's growing up so fast. But there's just like a slew of pictures from the family being in Wyoming. North and her cousin. And then Courtney, which I think this might be the happiest picture of Courtney that I've ever seen, is her with a little baby lamb. And you got Kylie there. And the picture of Scott Disick where he was with the... Why am I blanking on the name already? The Razor Saw? Ridgeblade? Ripsaw. So we have that. And then lastly, we have Matthew Williams, collaborator of Kanye West and Lady Gaga, is Givenchy's new designer. So they have this line in here about Kanye. Yeah. 2 months after Claire Waite Keller stepped down as creative director, the house announced that it had named a new designer, and he comes not from the school of couture, but rather the school of Kanye. And all that really amounts to in this article, I'm sure that there's probably going to be somebody that goes deeper into it, is that the 34-year-old from Pismo Beach, California, who founded Alex in 2015, has no formal design training. So if you also don't have any formal design training or any formal training in whatever you're looking to pursue, do not be held back by that. It can be as much of a strength as it is a perceived weakness. So definitely lean into that. But he does have a resume that includes being creative director for Lady Gaga, which is pretty good, art director for Mr. West, pretty good, and a founder, along with Virgil Abloh and Heron Preston, among others, of Bin Trill, a short-lived collective of coolness. So the article goes a bit more into the fashion industry and Mr. Williams and his style and aesthetic. So if you're into that, definitely worth checking out. But definitely cool to see that there's still more Kanye people and Kanye influence going not just into the fashion industry, but into very prominent roles in the fashion industry. Matthew Williams, Virgil Abloh. I'm sure there's more that I don't know enough about the fashion industry to name, but they're out there. So, and that's it for the Kanye West news for today. I appreciate you joining, and if you want to support the channel, the easiest way is just liking, subscribing, commenting, as all those things tell YouTube that this is content people are enjoying. We also have a Patreon where we have our whole backlog and catalog of Kanye West line by line, song by song lyrical analysis. So if you want the deepest and best analysis of Kanye West music that's ever been done, check out our Patreon. It's just $5 for access to all of that. And we're currently in the midst of doing a Patreon-only mini season going over Kanye West hot takes. So if you want to experience those episodes as well, your support is very much appreciated. Otherwise, just thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon with more Kanye content. Until then, stay wavy and keep it loopy.